Welcome to another edition of In Conversation with Rock Show Critique. Today's guest is Sunshine Scott.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome. Uh, so, Sunshine, why don't you give us a rundown of who you are and what you're doing as far as music and all that good stuff? Give us a quick background.
Yeah, yeah. I'm Sunshine. I have been singing since I was 2 years old. I've been performing since I could walk. I've been being extra in a lot of ways since I was born. I was born in a super musical family, and so I've always been surrounded by creatives, and so I've always been very encouraged to do the same. And I don't think I could not create ever. Like I think it has to happen for me, like all the time. Um, but yeah, I recorded or I wrote this song Wildflower, my newest release. I wrote it 4 years ago with my brother, and it actually started out as an electronic song, and we adapted all of it to live instruments and like mixed in some cool production things. But it was a really cool project to do, and I'm like super duper excited that it's like finally out there for everyone.
Okay. So, how can you get this song? How can people listen to it?
Yeah, it's available everywhere that music is sold. I have a link tree in my bio of my social media accounts, which my social media is at OMG Sunny D on TikTok, on Instagram, on pretty much everywhere. But that's where you can find if you want to go through the link tree, or you can just look me up on Spotify or anywhere music is sold.
Okay, great. So tell us about the song and how you came to writing it and then all that good stuff.
Yeah. So like I said, 4 years ago, my brother came out with this, or he came up with this track, and he showed it to me, and he was like, "This is so cool! Like this is like a weird track that I've never done anything like it before, and like I want you to write lyrics, and I want you to write like make it into a song." And so we worked together, and we made a demo where we had all electronic stuff, and he does mostly like EDM production and like alt jazz stuff. And so we made our demo, and we got with a producer in Nashville named Rick Webb, and he sort of helped us reimagine it in a way with all live instruments, and kind of create like a weird crazy sound that like we'd never really heard before. And that was kind of the goal with this. The goal with this song was to create something that no one's ever heard, or something that at least we haven't been hearing happening around us. um and so that was kind of like the actual sound of the song. As far as the storyline for the song goes, whenever I write songs, I write stories. I don't just write like a singular song. Sometimes I will create a whole arc of stories, or even I will write like a screenplay or come up with like a novel idea for whatever song concept I'm working with at the time. And so the thing with Wildflower was I wanted to capture the duality within all of us. I feel like we have growing up where, you know, we are growing into ourselves, and we're thinking like, is what I was in the past truly who I am today? And is what I'm becoming the right path for me? Or is what I'm becoming, has that been hiding in there all along? Or is it something new that's coming out in me? And I really wanted to kind of emulate that in a fantasy-esque universe that I created, where I have this character named Flora. And so she's essentially the embodiment of that struggle. And she has a whole bunch of other songs that I've written for that character that kind of tie in for future releases. But for right now, we have Flora and Wildflower.
Okay, great. All right. So you was there you said you were working on some other stuff that you're currently still just working on? It's in the working phases, or is it to the point where you're actually recording some demos or
Yeah, yeah. So I have a bunch of demos done, and I have some things that are being like mastered and mixed, and are getting ready to be released. I'll probably be doing that within the next couple of months. I'm really hoping to get some of that out there, because I've been working on a project of songs for a long time. I wanted it originally to be a joint album with my brother, but we ended up kind of going in separate directions with certain things. So we're going to release some as remixes. We're going to release some with just me. We're going to release some with just him. And we're just going to kind of create and get stuff out there within the next year.
Okay. So you're gonna probably just do singles then? I mean, I know the way music is going these days, it seems like sometimes it's that's what a lot of people are tending to gear towards is just releasing individual songs as opposed to trying to record albums.
Yeah, well, my idea for this, I want it to be an album. And so what I'm doing so far is planning on releasing some things as singles and then putting them all together into an album or into an EP. I'm not sure which one yet, but
Hmm.
I'm hoping to kind of make a collection out of these singles. And because they all do tie together with different characters that I've created and different stories. So I'd like to be able to kind of give a taste of all the different characters I have, as well as all the different sides to this first batch of music.
Okay. So tell us some of your influences growing up, music
Oh,
wise.
so fun fact, I actually grew up learning to sing through country music because of course Nashville, but my mother and my father are very like super like country music fans, and they were raised in it and they performed in it. My mother was in a band called Dave and Sugar back in the 70s and early 80s, and they were on the CMAs. They had number one records and stuff, and so she, you know, she was just in that world. And so of course growing up, that was the kind of, I used to sing Carrie Underwood songs and Linda Ronstadt and, you know, Patsy Cline and all that stuff. That was just kind of how I learned to sing, and how of course she taught me, but those were all the songs that I worked with. And of course I did a lot of musical theater too, because I'm super dramatic. But that was kind of where I came from. And it was about high school that I started to kind of come into my own sound and come into my own influences. And for a while I was super influenced by like artists like Yes and artists like Black Keys and things like that. And then now I feel like a lot of my influences are, golly, oh, I have a lot, but like Glass Animals and Mother and St. Vincent and things like that going forward. And Sammy Ray, of course, I love Sammy Ray's music. And I have a very large variety of music that I listen to in general, but I feel like my influences fall into those categories right now.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a wide variety there. So there's definitely
Yeah.
a good mix of everything.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, it's hard to pin it down in my mind. It's everywhere.
All right. Is there anything else you'd want to share with us as far as upcoming projects, any other things that you wanted the fans to know about here?
Yeah. So for Wildflower, so now the song is out, and I'm going to start I'm releasing teasers for kind of a short film type storyline for my music video. So I've put together all these myself. I designed all of the graphics. I even in Photoshop, like I've had to like learn all this stuff because it's, first of all, it's fun, but also I'm so specific about how I want things to look in my head that
Mhm.
it's very hard for me to like tell somebody how to do it. So I just had to kind of learn to do it myself. So I edited all my music video things. I had help from some amazing people. But I directed them and I did voiceovers and wrote scripts for them. And I'm going to be releasing that within the next couple of weeks so that people can kind of get an idea of the storyline that Flora and Wildflower has. And from there, I'm going to move on to more of Flora's story with other releases, as well as new characters that I've come up with and that I'm excited to introduce to people.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, any other last things to plug besides the single? It's available everywhere music is sold, like you said.
I guess I would say follow me on Instagram and TikTok because I do a lot of stuff on there. OMG Sunny D. And I'm just so thankful for everyone's support. Just go listen to the song and tell me what you think because I love to hear from you. And I don't know, if you want to collab, I love collabing with different producers and musicians. So I would say my DMs are always open.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.